Right, hello. Today I'm making some sambar, which is South Indian staple. It's really nice. So these are drumsticks. These normally get joined together like that. They're really long, and they're a type of bean, and they're what they use in sambar. But you can just use some broccoli or some green beans or even some peas or just something vegetable-y and green would do fine. But they do have a bit of a flavour, these, and if you can find them in your local Asian supermarket, then that's great. And we've got this stuff, which is tur dal. Okay, and this is the best of dals. So all my Indian friends tell me this, that tur dal is definitely the best. So if you can find that, great. Otherwise, just use any lentils, even just like the common red lentils you find is fine. Okay, so we've got them. Then you just need a can of chopped tomatoes, just a normal can of chopped tomatoes. You've got salt and pepper. Then if you're cooking curries, then you probably want these three things, which is cumin seeds. All right, now I buy this in bulk. You don't have to buy it in such large quantities, but yeah, if you can get some whole cumin seeds. And then this is optional, but you know, they do make the flavour. And this is curry leaves. So if you can find dried curry leaves or even fresh ones, I've actually got a plant which I can pick. But if you don't have that, then don't worry. And then some mustard seeds. So again, this is like a massive bag of them, which you can get very cheaply in an Asian supermarket. But yeah, you'll be able to find them in a tiny, dinky quantity. Now, this stuff is called hing, or asafoetida. Can you just see that there? So that's the name of it there. It's a bit of a funny word, isn't it? Asafoetida, or hing. So there's another packet there, look, which I've commandeered. So Hing, hing, or asafoetida. Now this is really strong stuff. You've got to be really careful with this and only add a tiny bit. This is what we're making. Look, here's a little picture of it. Sambar, and this is sambar masala. Now, sambar will have several different spellings, like, you know, the English spelling will vary a little bit, so don't worry about that if you see different spellings. Okay, so this is a box of spice, so we'll just be using that. You want a couple of onions chopped up. I think that's it, isn't it? Got the dal, onions. Yeah, it's quite a simple dish, really. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is measure out 2 cups of the dal. All right, so this is the cup that I always use. All right, so put that into a pan. So two cups of the dal. There we go. Okay, and then you wanna fill up the pan. Probably. Oh, it's just boiling over. Yeah, if you fill up the pan to about there, because these guys are going to soak up a lot of water. Okay, so fill up the pan, and then you can do these in a pressure cooker. That works well because they do take a little while to do. But if you haven't got a pressure cooker, don't worry. Just do them in the pan, and just keep an eye on it because they do like to boil over. So this one's been boiling now for probably 15 minutes or so, and what I'll probably do is just top up the water a little bit because it's starting to get a bit low, and you just want the actual lentils to start to break up. So look, if I pull some out, you can see there that they're still kind of whole, and if you get them between your finger, I've just squeezed it there, and it hasn't really broken up. You see, it's broken up a little bit around the edge, but it's still quite hard in the middle. So that just means you've got to keep on cooking for a little while. So they want to be nice and soft, and they'll just break up. Right, so if while this is going on, if you get a couple of onions, chop them up, I've chopped one into fine pieces and I've chopped the other one into bigger pieces. Okay, so have them all ready. Right, so just as the dought's bubbling away there, I'm just going to prep these drumsticks. I'm just going to chop off the ends of them. Now, these things are really kind of woody, and you don't actually eat the skins, you just kind of scoop out the nice flesh inside. So I'm just going to take off the stalky bits, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to microwave these guys. So if you cut them to be about, I don't know, 3 inches long like that, and if you slit them down the middle like that, and then, so that's what we really want for the dish. All right, so if you have a look at them there, you can see the kind of beans inside them there. All right, and that's what we're looking for. All right, so I'm going to basically chop all of these and put them in a microwavable dish. Right, so there you are. I've put all of my drumsticks in the microwavable dish. I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Okay, I'll pop the lid on. And I'll cook that for, say, about 5 minutes on a low-powered microwave. Just give your dal a little stir, because you don't want them lentils sticking on the bottom. Just make sure it's got enough water still. Right, so I've just taken these drumsticks out of the microwave, so you can see they're nice and ready. So you can just set them to one side for a minute. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to start doing the spice mix. Alright, so for that you need to get yourself some oil. Okay, so don't be mean with the oil. Give yourself a good glug of it. Okay, put that on the heat. Okay, and then we need our mustard seeds. Alright, so I've got a little jar of them here, so I'm going to sprinkle the mustard seeds into the oil. Yeah, you can see how much. Yeah, you're not going overboard. Too many mustard seeds will make it bitter. And then cumin seeds, just another sprinkle of those, like that. Okay, and then get your curry leaves and a sprinkle of those. Okay, so you just want to, this is what we call like tempering the oil. So you just want to heat that oil up and get. Right, now just as that's doing, if you have a look at this, you can see that these lentils now are starting to break up. Okay, this is exactly what we want. And so you can see that, yeah, they're starting to kind of fall apart. All right, so that's almost done now. We'll just turn that one down a little bit. Right, so when it starts heating up like that, okay, then you can put the onions in. Where have I put them? There we are. Okay, so get the onions in and just keep on stirring them. Okay, and then you just want to, what we call like, sweat off the onions. Okay, so just give them a few minutes, keep on turning them so they don't stick. Right, so just before you add the spice mix, just add a little bit more oil. Okay, you don't want to be mean with this oil, because otherwise what you'll find is that it'll all just stick to the pan and you'll end up in a bit of a mess. Okay, so the onions are almost done there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my tomatoes, my tin of chopped tomatoes, open and ready. Okay, so that's waiting there. Okay, and then so what I'll do is I'll just sprinkle a tiny bit of hing. Now this is literally, right, watch carefully, we'll do this slowly. We're talking about that much. That is like, I don't know, not even a full teaspoon. Okay, so that's the hing. It's really strong. Right, so just give that a stir. You can turn the heat down now. Turn it down to the lowest setting. And then I've got my my Sambar masala powder. Okay, so this is, I've already got in a jar. Now this is add to taste, and what I found with is different makes. Like this is one make, and then This is a different make. And the trouble is that you get used to one and then you get another one and it's a bit hotter. So anyway, I'm just going to give it probably, well, that's got to be that's probably a teaspoon and a half, something like that. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that round now. It's always important with curries, you've got to cook that spice. That's what releases all this lovely flavour. Alright, so you've got to cook it but not burn it. So I've turned the heat right down, I've got plenty of oil in there. Okay, and that's just releasing all these amazing aromas and taste and flavour. Okay, so so that's the masala, the Sambar masala. Okay, so I'm just waiting a few seconds for that, and then what I'm going to do, just as I think that spice is done and I don't want it to catch on the pan, then what I'm going to do is just add the tomatoes. Okay, so let's put those tomatoes in, just scoop it around with your spatula. Okay, and just give those a bit of cooking. Right, so that's that will kind of stop everything burning as well. So if you're getting to the point where it's a bit too hot, then just put in that tomato and then stir that around. Now what you can do is just, you can add a bit of water to that tin and just slosh it about, because you will need a bit of water. Okay, so we've got that, and then you can turn it up a little bit because it's all cold, isn't it, coming out of the tin. Right, and then if I just show you the dal there, can you see that? So it's gone really quite sludgy now, hasn't it? So that's coming up all right. All right, now what I tend to do is I make quite a lot of the dal. This is an excellent source of protein, and it's obviously really cheap and it's good for the environment. Okay, so what I tend to do is to make lots of it, and then I might add half to the sambar, and then I'll just freeze this in its its kind of cooked state, and then I can make actual dal with it, or I can just add it to a different curry. Okay, so I tend to cook much more than I need, and then I can just add it to the sambar, and then it's all ready for another day. Right, so that's just heating up nicely. So what I can do, I've got my drumsticks to put in. Okay, so I'll put them in there. Okay, and this is where you might need a bit of hot water if there isn't enough liquid in it. Okay, and then I'm going to pour my lentils in. So I reckon that I'm going to use about that much, I think. Okay, so I've kind of just filled up the pan there, and then just give it a gentle stir. Now, the thing we've forgotten, of course, you must add salt and pepper to everything that you cook. That's what my chef friends taught me when I was about 18. Okay, so a nice lot of pepper, and then salt. So there you are, that's salt there. And you can add a bit of sugar, or a bit of jaggery if you want to be keeping it in the Indian way. I always think if you've got tomato, just a little bit of sugar helps to take away it kind of balances with the acidity of the tomato. Alright, so I'm just going to get some sugar. Right, so there we are, I'm just going to put one of those in. A touch more. Okay. Right, so give that a stir, and then at this stage I always like to give it a taste, because obviously I've just kind of sprinkled that spice in, so I'm not too sure how it excitable it is going to be on the spice front. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's just about right. I think the family will cope with that. Hasn't made me cough, has it? So that's always a good sign. Right, so really that's it. I mean, you can leave it cooking for a little while, but yeah, that is your sambar. Have you got a good view? Yeah, it looks all right, doesn't it? Okay, so what I'd serve that up with would be rice and a poppadom, or you could have it with idlis, or you know, you could have one of the pancakes like a dosa, or yeah, one of those type of things. You could have it with naan. And this is like, people live off this in South India. It's really good for you. It's good for the environment, and it's an excellent source of protein. So yeah, give it a go.